Welcome back, everyone. Today's deep dive is something that I think we can all relate to.
Yeah.
It's online reviews, whether you're the one writing them or you're relying on them to make a decision.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to be looking at an article from the website Wow comme Cibo.
Okay.
It's called Le pouvoir des avis en ligne pour booster votre entreprise.
Right.
Basically, the power of online reviews to boost your business. We're going to find out just how much those little stars actually matter, why businesses are so obsessed with getting those 5-star reviews,
Yeah.
and some of the really interesting and maybe surprising ways they're going about doing that.
You know, it's funny because it really does feel like online reviews have kind of overtaken traditional advertising in a lot of ways.
Right, like when I'm looking for a new restaurant or I need to find a plumber,
Yeah.
I don't even look at ads anymore.
Me neither.
I just go straight to the reviews.
It's the first thing you do.
And this article actually cites a study from 2023 by Part2 that found that 91% of consumers read online reviews before making a purchase.
That's almost everybody.
I know. And what's even crazier is that 76% say those reviews actually influence their decisions.
That's a huge number.
It really is.
It's like we trust the collective wisdom of the internet more than we trust,
Yeah. Our own research
our own judgment even.
Yeah. So why do you think that is? Why are we so quick to trust the opinions of complete strangers online?
I think part of it is just the sheer volume of information out there. Like when you're faced with like hundreds of choices,
Right.
it can be really overwhelming to sift through all of it.
It's information overload.
It is. Reviews kind of offer this shortcut, a way to quickly gauge whether something's good or not.
Okay.
You know, you see those 5 stars, you think, Dick, okay,
Yeah.
this must be good.
Yeah, it's almost like social proof, right? Like
Exactly.
seeing other people rave about something makes you more likely to want it.
It's that herd mentality.
But what about the businesses themselves? How do they benefit from all of this? I mean, obviously, good reviews lead to more sales,
Right.
but is there more to it than that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The article goes into how reviews can actually impact a business's entire online presence.
Okay.
Like, it's not just about getting people in the door, it's about building this whole reputation online.
So it's like building a brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it plays a big role in building trust and credibility.
So how do they actually do that? How do they use reviews to kind of achieve that?
Well, one way is by actively encouraging customers to leave those reviews,
Okay.
especially positive ones.
Right.
So you might see those emails that you get after you buy something
Oh, yeah.
that's like, hey,
Leave us a review.
tell us how much you loved
I
it.
get those all the time.
Some businesses even offer incentives,
Oh, yeah.
like discounts or loyalty points if you leave a review.
That's smart.
It's a clever way to boost participation.
Yeah. But it also makes me wonder if some of those reviews are actually genuine. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
Like, if you're getting rewarded for leaving a good review,
Yeah.
is it really a true reflection of your experience?
You have to be careful.
Yeah.
Businesses really need to be transparent about those incentives,
Yeah.
so customers can take that into consideration.
That makes sense.
But the most effective way to get those good reviews is to actually just provide
Right.
a great product or service.
Make people happy.
Happy customers are much more likely to leave those positive reviews organically.
Okay, so let's say a business is doing everything right.
Yeah.
They're providing a great service. They're treating their customers well. They
Yeah.
still need to make it easy for people to leave those reviews.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if it's a hassle, most people aren't going to bother.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to jump through hoops just to leave a review.
Right.
That's why you're seeing more and more businesses using things like QR codes.
Oh, yeah, those are everywhere now.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
And in-app prompts
Yeah.
to make that process as smooth as possible.
So you're telling me
Uh-huh.
if I'm sitting in a restaurant
Yep.
and I see a QR code on the table,
Yep.
I scan that and it takes me right to their Google review page.
Exactly.
Hmm.
It takes advantage of that moment when your experience is still fresh in your mind.
That's really clever.
It is. And it's just one example of how businesses are getting really smart about this whole review thing.
It seems like there's a lot more to it than I initially thought.
Oh, for sure.
And it's not just about getting people to your website. It's about making sure your website actually shows up when people are searching for something.
That's where SEO comes in.
Yes, yeah.
Search engine optimization.
Oh, right, right.
And reviews actually play a big role in that.
Really?
Yeah. Google and other search engines look at the quantity and quality of reviews when they're ranking businesses in their search results.
So the more good reviews you have, the higher you're going to show up.
Exactly. It's like free advertising.
That's amazing.
It really is.
So those little stars are actually a pretty big deal.
They are. They're not just a vanity metric anymore. They can actually make or break a business.
All right, so we've talked about why businesses want these reviews.
Hmm.
But what about us,
Yeah.
the
You
consumers?
people leaving the review.
How can we make sure that we're using this whole review system to our advantage?
That's a great question. And it's something we'll definitely be discussing as we dive deeper into this topic.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
But just to give you a little taste,
Okay.
think about how you approach reading reviews. Are you really taking the time to read multiple reviews?
Mm?
Or are you just looking at that overall star rating?
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that sometimes.
I think we all are. It's easy to get caught up in the simplicity of a star rating,
Right.
but there's often so much more to the story.
So you're saying we need to be more critical.
Exactly. We need to be more discerning consumers of online reviews.
That makes sense.
And that's what we're going to be exploring in this deep dive.
I'm ready to learn more.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we know online reviews are a big deal,
Mm-hmm.
and businesses are always trying to find new ways to get more of them.
Right.
This article actually highlights a few specific examples of businesses that are doing this really well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One of them is this gourmet food shop called La Petite Épicerie.
Okay.
And they really focused on getting those Google reviews,
Smart.
especially because they're like a hidden gem.
Yeah.
So they need those reviews to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
So what did they do? Did they just like ask nicely?
Well, they did more than just ask. They
Okay.
actually created this loyalty program
Okay.
where customers get rewarded
Uh-huh.
for every review they leave.
That's pretty clever.
It is.
It's like a win-win.
Exactly.
Customers get a little something extra,
Yeah.
and the business gets those valuable reviews.
And it seems to be working really well for them.
That's awesome.
I've built up a ton of positive reviews.
Good for them.
It's definitely helped their visibility,
Right.
especially for people who are searching for gourmet food shops online.
So it shows that
Yeah.
even if you're a small business,
Uh,
you can still make a big impact with the right strategy.
Absolutely.
Now, the article also talks about this other business.
Okay.
It's a service company this time
Right.
called Clean and Go.
Clean and go.
And they took a slightly different approach.
Interesting.
So instead of just focusing on getting reviews after a service is completed,
Yeah.
they decided to really leverage referrals, word of mouth,
Right.
but with like a modern twist.
Okay.
I'm guessing they offer some sort of incentive for referring a friend.
Yeah, they do. They give rewards to both the person making the referral
Okay.
and the new customer when a review is submitted.
So it's like they're killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
They're getting new customers and they're
Wow.
getting those good reviews.
And those personal recommendations,
Yeah.
they carry a lot of weight,
I think so too.
more so than a review from a stranger.
It's like you're more likely to trust a friend's recommendation if
Right.
some random person on the internet.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to see how different businesses are approaching this.
Yeah.
And there's no one right way to do it.
Nope.
It really depends on the business.
And their goals?
Yeah. But one thing that both of these examples highlight
Mm-hmm.
is the importance of actively engaging with those reviews,
Oh, absolutely.
not just hoping they'll magically appear.
You have to put in the effort.
And this article makes a really good point about the importance of responding to reviews,
Okay.
both positive and negative.
That's interesting. I've never really thought about that.
Me neither.
Like, why would you respond to a review?
Wait.
Is it really that important?
Well, the article says it can be.
So-
For one thing, it shows customers that you're actually paying attention,
Okay.
that you value their feedback,
Mhm.
whether it's good or bad.
I guess that makes sense.
Like, imagine you took the time to write a nice review about a business and they actually responded
Oh, wow.
to thank you for it.
I'd be impressed.
Right.
It would definitely make me feel good.
Yeah.
Like my opinion mattered.
Yeah, and it might even make you more likely to go back to that business in the future.
Oh, for sure.
So it's a really simple gesture,
Mm-hmm.
but it can go a long way
Yeah.
in building that goodwill
Mhm.
and fostering a sense of loyalty.
I like that.
And on the flip side,
Yeah.
responding to negative reviews can be even more crucial.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, ignoring those negative reviews,
Yeah.
it can actually make you look worse.
Oh, okay.
Like you don't care about your customer's concern,
Right.
or you're not willing to take responsibility for any mistakes.
That makes sense.
So how should businesses handle those negative reviews?
Well, the key is to respond in a professional and constructive way.
Okay.
Acknowledge the customer's concerns,
Mm-hmm.
apologize for any inconvenience,
Right.
and offer a solution if possible.
So it's not about getting defensive or trying to argue with the customer.
It's about showing empathy.
Yeah.
and a willingness to make things right.
Right. And by doing that, you can actually turn a negative situation into a positive one.
Exactly.
Because it shows that you care
Uh-huh.
and that you're always trying to improve.
I never thought of it that way,
Me neither.
but it's true.
So far, we've been talking a lot about the business perspective, but what about us, the consumers?
People actually using these reviews.
How can we navigate this world of online reviews more effectively?
That's a fantastic question, and it's something we're going to be digging into as we continue this deep dive.
Okay, I can't wait.
But just to give you a little preview,
Right.
think about how you approach reading reviews. Are you really taking the time to read multiple reviews? Or are you just looking at that overall star rating?
Right.
Are you considering the source of the review
Okay.
and whether it's coming from a verified purchase?
Good point.
These are all things we need to be mindful of as we navigate this online world.
All right, so we've talked about the business side of things.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about us.
The consumers.
Yeah, the people actually using these reviews to make decisions.
Right.
How can we be smarter about it?
That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, how do we make sure we're not being fooled by like fake reviews or
Right.
just misleading information in general?
Well, the first thing to remember is that not all reviews are created equal.
Okay.
Some of them might be fake.
Right.
Some might be incentivized.
Like we talked about earlier.
Exactly. And some might just be based on personal preferences
Okay.
that don't really align with your own.
That makes sense.
So you really have to be a bit of a detective.
What detective?
Yeah, look for clues.
Okay, so what kind of clues should we be looking for?
Well, one thing to pay attention to is the language.
Okay.
Does it sound overly enthusiastic?
Like too good to be true.
Yeah, exactly. Or does it use a lot of like generic marketing phrases?
Oh yeah, like this product is amazing.
Exactly.
Life changed.
Yeah, those are red flags.
Okay.
Another thing to consider is the reviewer's history.
Okay.
Have they left like a ton of similar reviews for other businesses?
Oh yeah, like those people who just give 5 stars to everything.
Exactly. That's always suspicious.
It's like they're getting paid to do it.
Yeah, it makes you question their credibility. It's also a good idea to look at the overall distribution of reviews.
What do you mean by that?
So like, if a business has hundreds of 5-star reviews
Yeah.
and almost nothing else,
Oh.
that's a bit of a red flag.
Okay.
It's more natural to see a mix of ratings, right, reflecting the different experiences that people have.
Right. Like not everyone's going to have a perfect experience.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say we've done all that.
Yeah.
We've read a bunch of reviews. We've looked at the reviewer's history.
Yeah.
We've considered the overall distribution. And we're still not sure what to think.
You know what? Sometimes you just got to trust your gut.
My gut.
Yeah, your intuition.
Okay.
If something feels off
Yeah.
about a review or a business, it's probably best to be cautious.
Better safe than sorry.
Right. And remember, you can always reach out to the business directly.
Oh, yeah. Just ask them
Yeah.
for more information.
Exactly. Sometimes a simple phone call or email
Yeah.
can clear things up.
Okay. But beyond just like the individual consumer,
Yeah.
what about the bigger picture? Like, how is this whole review culture
Right.
changing things?
It's definitely changing the way we interact with businesses
Yeah.
and even with each other.
Right. Like everyone's a critic now.
It's true. On the one hand, it's created this level of transparency
Okay.
that didn't exist before.
Like businesses can't hide anymore,
Exactly. Bad service or bad products, it's all going to come out.
which is good for consumers.
It is. It holds businesses accountable.
Right. But it also puts a lot of pressure on them
Yeah.
to be perfect all the time.
Yeah. And to respond to every single review.
Even the crazy ones.
Right. Because if they don't,
Yeah.
it makes them look bad.
And then there's the pressure on consumers too.
Yeah.
To like document every experience.
Right.
And share our opinions with the world,
It's like we're all supposed to be experts on everything.
which is exhausting.
It is. It makes you wonder if we're becoming too reliant on these reviews. Are they replacing our own judgment?
That's a good question.
Something to think about
Yeah.
as we navigate this whole online review world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some key takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is to understand that online reviews can be a really valuable tool, but they're just one piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
Use them to inform your decisions,
Yeah.
but don't let them completely dictate your experiences.
It's all about balance.
Exactly. Do your own research, trust your instincts.
And form your own opinions.
That's right.
I think that's a great note to end on.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have for today.
It's been great chatting with you.
Thanks for joining me.
Anytime.
And thanks to all of you for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.